Welcome to the Real and Raw Show. I'm Lynn Serrano.
And I'm Brian.
And we'll be right back after this. Welcome to the Real and Raw Show. And today we are real and we're raw. And we are here. Hi, Brian.
Hello. It's somebody's birthday and it's not me, so who else would it be?
I don't know. Our show? Because we started it like in December.
There's a reason why you're not on stage doing comedy.
I know. I need practice. I need to get on there, right?
Sure.
Maybe this year I'll find something local to do.
Maybe.
No, I don't know.
Or
Zoom it.
The Montana comedy scene is a little lacking. Here comes Lynn.
I did get on stage once. And that was once. And that was drinking a lot more than I normally drink.
Was that on a comedy show or was that some other...
It was the shit, we can't pay anybody to get here. Let's just open mic and just see what fools will get on stage.
Hey, you.
Yeah, that's what happened. And I did a lot of drinks. And my kids know I can sip a drink. And I did more than sip a drink. So
we're going to play a new game with everybody. We're going to start every show with a one or two word title. And today's two-word title for this show is Brazilian Blowout.
Oh, don't even go there. If you guys haven't noticed, my hair's been flat lately, and my daughter did. It's cost a lot of money to get your hair Brazilian blowout. And oh my gosh, we got a visitor here today. Mr. Rex! Oh my gosh, wait a second. We got some visitors in the background. What the heck? Hey guys, what you got? How'd you guys get in here?
Happy birthday!
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Rex. Thank you, Michelle. Look at you guys are here. This is super sweet.
Who am I pointing to?
Mr. Brian, thank you so much.
Hey, I had to give you a dose of your own medicine.
Oh.
You do it for everybody else. At least I could do this for you, but it's live. It's not in a video clip.
You know? Oh no, I love this. This is the first time I've done a show on my birthday, so this is super great. This is super nice. I got Chris Wall here. He surprised me with the little live video. I went to school with them just 40 years ago.
Only 40 years ago.
Yeah, just 40 years ago. Well, Michelle, we love when you pop in and they're in the comments. And I forgot to send you a message today to tell you we were live.
Hey, that's all right. Brian had it under control.
And Rex, I just love you so much. You come and you're always there. You're always reliable. And I just love having you on all our shows. It's just, just an honor. I'm just so blessed to be surrounded by some great people. I did pretty good for an introvert.
And there's two other people that I reached out to that unfortunately could not be here present on camera. I didn't want to send you these because otherwise you know what we're doing, and I just don't do that. So here's one or two. I don't know how it'll show up on video, but I'll send you these clips after. So here's somebody else that would like to wish you a happy birthday.
Hi, Lynn. I'm out and about, but I didn't want this day to pass without me wishing you a personal happy birthday. You are such a beautiful soul. I hope you have an amazing day. Happy birthday, beautiful. Love ya.
Oh, Mary Kay. Thank you, Brian. That's so sweet.
Then there's one more coming from Thousand Oaks, California, a gentleman that you've got to know in a mastermind.
Little brother. Or no.
Hey there, Lynn. It's Larry Levine. Just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. Make it a great day. Continue doing all the wonderful things you're doing. You are a difference maker. Continue to serve from your heart. Just wanted to say happy birthday. Have a wonderful holiday season. Super blessed to have you in this community of like-minded, like-hearted people that are making a difference. Lynn, have a phenomenal day, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Happy birthday. Bye-bye.
Damn, Brian, that was just so sweet. Thank you, Larry.
We got a couple folks live, and we got some videos for you.
Oh, my. Yes, sir.
I was going to say, you are loved, you are respected, you are appreciated, you contribute to so many people, and so many people want to contribute back to you. So thank you for being
Oh.
who you are, how you show up, and the things that you do.
Oh, you're not gonna make me turn red. You're gonna make me cry. That's ugly cry. That makes me turn red too. Damn you!
Let's lean into that. It's funny to see on camera.
No, can't do that. Oh, thank you so much. I just like to be the supporting actress. You know, I like to be the one that supports people and puts people on stage. I mean, that's what happens when you're always assistant stage manager and stuff. You just or assistant producer, you just love to see people shine and just be a little part of it. Because you say, damn, they got balls to be up there and shine.
from knowing you and having an idea how your brain works, which is scary in itself, is I wouldn't call it assistant stage manager. I would refer to as instigator.
Yeah,
you instigate a lot.
I do. I like doing that. I like to be the one that surprises people and stuff. So not used to being surprised.
Exactly. That's why immediately I'm like, okay. I've reached out to a few folks. Some could be here, some couldn't, but nonetheless, we're here to share your happy birthday wishes.
Well, thank you. That's really, really sweet, you guys. And you know, the big deal is I just think that everybody should be honored or surprised or something once in their lifetime because, you know, it's just sad to see everybody celebrated after they're gone. And I've seen a lot of people celebrate it after they're gone. And I always said, you know, it would have been nice if they would have known or seen it while they were here. So,
and I think you bring up a good point. It's like, well, go ahead, Michelle.
I was just going to say, you make such an important point. You know, people will talk good of the dead, but they don't talk good to the face of the person while they're alive, oftentimes.
Yeah.
And they doing more of that while the opportunity exists is far superior to waiting until it's too late and then saying a few nice words.
Yeah, and it's just always sad to me because I'm like, it would have brought more joy to the person while they're here. It's like I try to give people flowers while they're here than when they're gone. You know, I love you, Sandy. Thank you so much.
And we bring up a good point here too, is that whatever's normal, if you will, quote unquote normal, or just one of the mill, is not happy birthday in my opinion. Right? If you just do, you know, a Facebook greeting message, okay, it's cool. If you do a graphic, that's one thing. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant, but the more rudimentary and the more just status quo it is, the less likely it's going to stand out. And if we're going for feelings, it's got to be something done personally, in my opinion, if it's going to matter to them, not to me.
Absolutely. And like I said, and I think, you know, out of the norm, I mean, why do things have to be commercialized? I mean, I think the day before, the day after, a week before, a month after, you know, whatever. I mean, and you save a lot of money too, like as far as like Christmas. You buy a Christmas gift a day after, you know, save money, surprise somebody that you forgot Christmas or whatever, or birthday card or, you know, different things. I mean, like be spontaneous or do it. You don't have to do it exactly the day of. You don't have to be so commercialized or so, you know, it doesn't have to be rigidly that day or whatever, you know. Right. I mean, think outside the box of things.
When we look at the commercialization of everything, it's like, okay, there are some dates throughout the year that will remain nameless where certain products are just regular price and then other products are completely inflated, you know, and I'm not going to say what those are. I'm sure we can guess what they are, but, you know, why can't Christmas be every day versus once a year besides the religious beliefs or whatever that people may have?
Yeah.
Well, the truth is it is every day.
Yeah.
People just don't realize it.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, that's I've taught my kids that too, as far as Christmas. I would give them Christmas money and I'd say, look, buy things that are on sale and let's come home and see who got the more bang for their buck. And let's see what it was retail and what you got, how much you saved, you know? So they'd say, this was $100 and I got it for 20. And so, you know, I saved $80, you know? And I mean, so we play a game of it, you know? And being that I had my own wholesale business and, you know, I sold retail, I showed them the value of the money, but it's so much fun to see it from a different way.
Right. And I think too is that I recall several years ago, back in 2016, when I was recovering from my car accident, life started to show up different for me, you know, given a second chance at life. And one of those moments was when I was recovering from my car accident, and I'm watching national and local coverage of people out getting the doorbusters and shopping on Black Friday. And it just made me think how many people are willing to spend endless amounts of money, possibly on credit, for people that may not like, for things that, you know, they'd rather throw a gift in front of them than they would to complete an upset that they might have with them.
Yeah.
And that gets very disappointing, that they'd rather spend money on them for something that they potentially won't even remember getting, versus having that person back in their life again with a conversation.
Yeah, I want to talk about this, what Sandy says, but I do love celebrating birthdays since they're not promised
Yep.
each one. And I want to bring the fact that this 58 is important to me, because at 57, my brother's birthday was April 13th, and he turned 57, and May 10th he passed away right after his birthday. So he only made 57 a month. And then my kid's dad, he died at 57. And so I was just, and you know, I almost died at 25 from a hysterectomy, and I never thought I'd see my kids grow up, or grandkids. So I'm just blessed to still be here and to make it further than my brother and my kid's dad. So I'm just grateful every day, and I'm just, you know, grateful. But it really hit me hard for this past year. It's been hard since I turned 50. My mom passed away, and then my brother died the year after. So I'm just working on these next 2 years to get as healthy as I can, and hope that 60s I'll be more glamorous and more healthier. And work the next 2 years to make the years be better then. So yeah, we're all blessed to be here. And I think that's, you know, sometimes we need to be shaken up to realize that, and to continue to see, you know, when our friends pass and we get older. And I mean, the things we take for granted every day, right?
Right.
So Michelle, you've been the quiet one here. This is the first time I'm meeting you. And the first time I'm meeting you, and you're a beautiful photographer. I've just got to say that.
Well, thank you.
And I love the pictures of you and your son. And my grandson's getting so taller than me. He's only 14. So I love seeing pictures of how much taller your son is and all that stuff.
Well, my 11-year-old is almost as tall as me already. So I'm going to be the short one pretty soon.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So I'm glad you're here. It's nice to actually finally meet you.
Yes. Same to you. If you ever get back this way, let me know.
I will, because all you guys are in Wisconsin, and I'm excited to get together with all, and we'll have to have you meet Rex too, because he's just a joy, and his babies. They are wonderful little pups.
Well, I'm surprised you can't hear mine. She's sitting next to me snoring here, so maybe you can.
So
I'm petting Sasha as we speak. Really just ran off, but that's why you see me moving. But that's usually the case when I'm here on camera.
Bailey and Sasha.
I'm petting one or both of them.
Well, this is a great surprise.
I just had a thought too, as far as we're talking about, you know, when you're living life, and let's say you have a terminal illness that you know, that happens or something like that. That's when a lot of people are like, okay, now I need to live life. And no, like, I think that one of the greatest things, and I only can speak for myself, one of the greatest things to actually happen to wake me up was a near-death car accident, right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it puts life into perspective, that petty matters involving this or that or the other thing might be the extreme for some people, like their breaking point. But to me, it's like, wow, like it's especially like in Wisconsin, and I'm sure in Montana, where weather's going to get really bad and people are going to drive erratically and crazy. And it's like, wow, with the tools and the experience I have now, it's like, okay, at least I know I'm going to get home safe if it takes me 10 more minutes than the other person that might run the risk of their life or others. But it's just a different way of looking at life. And it's just unfortunate that if people don't have anything that, you know, that challenges them in a way where they look at their life, it's unfortunate, because life may not give you that reminder to be like, hey, All we have is now. And if you don't choose to write your legacy now, knowing that it might be 50 years down the road that you're going to live until, it could be going tomorrow and you're not going to be able to say, oh, I wish I would have. You either do it now or you don't do it at all.
Thank
So
you, Linda.
I would submit, similarly to Rod Serling, that and some people do believe this and some people don't believe that. The question becomes is, does that matter? But it's kind of like gravity works whether you believe it or not. But whether you accept the premise is always up to the individual. And that is that perhaps, for example, Brian, you chose to have that car accident to wake yourself up. It didn't happen to you. They're saying it happened for you, but that somehow unconsciously, subconsciously, the universe, whatever, because it's from within to without, that was your way to say, I'm going to go live my life differently now. But you needed to do something in order to wake that up. There is the theory, and there's enough scientific evidence for it, but again, a lot of things are remain to be seen when it comes to evidence. The notion that illness and disease and disorder comes from a lack of novelty, our prime directive as a species is to survive and to live and to thrive. It's actually designed to help us thrive. And it uses a law of conservation of least effort in order to do that. So it doesn't do any more than is ever necessary that is required. And so when people tell you have to do all this stuff and work all this way, they're actually going against what nature does, and they're going against the laws. So the interesting thing is that when we aren't living fully, that our own self creates disorder or disease in order to get us to live fully, in order to wake us up by giving us something that could be sadly life-threatening. It's designed purposefully to have us live and to thrive and to do well. And then, my argument is there's no such thing as self-sabotage. The subconscious doesn't sabotage us. We sabotage it. We think differently than what its purpose and prime directives are. And that's where the conflict starts, because we don't believe it. We don't want to accept it. We don't, because we have our way of doing things. But life goes on the way life goes on.
Well, what I would use as an example is just like when you're on a road that's got ice and snow, you automatically want to put your brakes on, but that's not what you should be doing.
Oh, right.
It's like, oh shit, you just go. And it's like, that's not what you're supposed to do, but that's automatically what you want to do. And so, and instead of going with the flow and taking it easy, you just think you can control it by let's slam on the brake and steer the wrong way.
It's just interesting if we use that scenario of the time of year where, in Wisconsin, we drive, with road conditions being very minimal, if any, 10 months out of the year or 8 or 9 months out of the year. But then those couple months out of the year, we need to disrupt that behavior, right?
Mm-hmm.
But actually, is it going to happen on its own, or is it going to happen because of slipping, running into somebody, the disruption of that reptilian brain?
Mm-hmm.
That it's like until something happens, because we're not going to think about it until like, ooh, there's a disruption, like, okay, traffic is coming, or, you hear about the roads are slippery or black ice or whatever it is, something to indicate that, okay, I need to do this differently. Until that actually happens, it's just going to be gangbusters, do your normal thing until, oh, I saw an accident where, there was a spider web, which, is an indication of something traumatic that happens on a car. It's really interesting, though, that we're going to do what we're normally going to do until there's the disruption of that behavior.
Right.
And sometimes that disruption, the only reason we leave our comfort zone is to be more comfortable.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, in other words, if you're eating cake and you want more cake, you have to get up and get it, or have someone bring it to you.
Right.
And maybe loosen your pants.
Right. But I mean, the point is that if
make the room.
We don't move oftentimes unless there's a change, something in the environment, something in us that creates the discomfort or discontentment in us. so that we go. It's like your bladder being full. You go, oh, well, that's a sign I got to go do something. I mean, we leave our comfort zone. And thank goodness that we do. And yet most people don't want to. They go, you know what? The government this, the religion that, my circumstances this, my ex that, my this that, my kids this. They put all the onus on everyone else except going, wow, this is an opportunity for me to transform.
Yeah, I relate a lot to that, Rex. Where it's so much easier to badger the people that are kicking their own butt, doing what it takes, paying the price every day, with courses or self-education or whatever it is. And when somebody succeeds, somebody on the outside wants to badger that person as if they had some special tools or skill set. No, they just work their butt off for a long time every day.
It's taking that ownership. It's not taking ownership. It's just like, finding fault for what somebody else is doing because they're not taking ownership to do it for themselves.
What I learned as a young person is never let anyone rain on your parade.
There you go.
But that's not true. I learned that as a young person. What I learned was don't rain on your own parade.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that.
And it's so easy to do it that when you're doing something different than the masses, because you see something transformative out of your life that others don't need to see, or you don't care if they see it or not. We are our own worst enemy when it comes to that. We're the only ones that stand in our way. And if we look for external validation in terms of what that is, we're not going to find any because nobody's up for playing that game. Very few are. And if you are, well, don't look for validation because you're probably not driven by it anyways. It's all coming from within and the way you see the world and what it can be.
There's Ricky. There's another Wisconsinite. I'm around the Wisconsinites. Am I saying that right or wrong?
You're surrounded by cheese.
Yeah, cheesy people.
Cheese and spotted cow.
Cheesy people.
Yeah.
So, Michelle, you've never been on our platform here. Yeah, don't rain on one's own parade. What are your takeaways for today, being on our show today? This is going to be your first of many.
I usually am not in front of the camera. I'm on the back side, so that's
I
why
know.
I got like stage fright going on here.
I know. So is your camera showing it because you're frozen.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's frozen. Yeah.
It's okay, but we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's fun. But definitely it's a different feeling being on this side of the camera versus the other side. I prefer the other side.
Well,
we welcome you.
We
Well,
welcome you.
Yeah.
Correct.
Thanks for being here, Michelle. Thanks for agreeing that you'll just be editing and available to be on our show today to surprise Lynn. So.
It means a lot to me because I'm like you. Even though my name may come first on the shows, that's just to avoid and bring light to the person that's next to me. So
nobody wants that.
What's that?
Nobody wants that. Don't bring light to him. No.
Ta-da! So again, thank you, Brian, for doing what you did today. This meant a lot to me in many, many ways. But Rex, you know how much I love you. I love you to the moon and back. And so you being here just means so much. I'm just so surprised that you're here.
I wouldn't miss it for anything.
And you're like, surprise, Lynn, I'm all there.
And then go ahead, Lynn. Go ahead.
I was gonna say he's probably keeping score. He wants to pay me back a few times. I know.
And then when you sent off the link yesterday versus like, okay, a half hour before the show, I'm like, oh, this is a slam dunk. I sent it to everybody and we're good to go.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, and I'll probably end up doing that more often, is because I work on Saturday nights. So it's like, and sometimes it's just gotten bad to send it or whatever. So I'm like, no, I got to do that before I go. So that's why I did that. I didn't want to forget. Especially the messenger has been for some reason, it's a little busy. So to find your name or do all that would be a hassle in the morning. So I was just thinking ahead a little bit. That's why I did that.
Well, it made it so easy to be like, okay, Rex and Michelle, and I already knew Mary Kay and Larry couldn't be on. So it's like, okay, here's the link. And then Rex mentioned me, or messaged me with, hey, okay, so how are we going to do this? And, the actor in him was coming through in terms of directing and making sure that they popped in at the right time. So.
Oh, you guys.
I just didn't want to tip anything. I didn't want to show up early and have.
Oh yeah, and with Brian, he shows up 3 minutes before. He leaves me just at the last minute. So yeah, it was perfect, absolutely perfect. But no, this was really sweet, you guys. I really appreciate it so much. And
love in the background generated because of Brian and all the different people that were messaging back and forth. So that was very cool. And
yes,
we could do it.
Hey, thank you so much. And Brian, I'll always get you back.
I know you will. I have no doubt. I'm glad I have improv skills and being in the moment. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes. So yeah, if you'll send those a messenger to me, I will definitely post those on my page because they were really sweet, and I want everybody to see those. Those are really sweet. And Larry really surprised me with that birthday. Even Gary V sent me a happy birthday on text message. So
wow, Gary V.
So that was Gary V. Yep. And so I've gotten a couple birthday surprises today. So pretty cool. So anything else we want to discuss before we leave today?
What are your birthday plans for today? That's what we all want to know.
Catching up today. Thank you. You know what? Just going with the flow. Sometimes I always get some surprise birthday calls, and every year it's just a surprise of who calls or video.
What are you
chat.
doing for yourself on your birthday, or what are other people doing for you on your birthday?
You know, Friday I went to dinner with my one daughter and her boyfriend and his mom, and that was great dinner to a place that I've never been before. It was great. So it just depends. I mean, I'll get to see Baker Wednesday. I'll get to have a cake with him, stop at the, so it's just, December and today, 2 weeks before, 2 weeks, Christmas will be 2 weeks from today. So I was born exactly 2 weeks before Christmas. Today, I wanted to make mention, this is the first year that my 8th grade teacher passed away this year. And he always, and I'm putting myself on blast, but he always would send an 8th grade picture of me.
Wow.
But this is the first year that he will not be saying happy birthday to me. He posts this picture every year, Mr. Lutwin, and he'd say happy birthday. And this will be, most of us are sad that this year and going forward that our birthday post won't be there. So this is really in honor of Mr. Lutwin that I put that up there. But yeah, so that's the first year without, I know, as I'm laughing, but I did that in honor of him when he finally found that. And it was so funny because I was laughing because the first few years he did that, I was like, he found everybody's picture. And then one year he put that up. I'm like, oh shit, he found my picture. He's like, Lynn, I knew I had yours. So then he put it up every freaking year. So, but yeah, so I went from like, oh my gosh, he's putting that picture up there to actually missing the fact that this is the first year that he's not here. So, and then, I have a couple classmates, one classmate that he passed away. He was an actor and he passed away, that he's not on our birthday this year too. So, again, we're reminded how blessed we are to be here still to spend time with people, and we should just be very grateful for that. So yeah, I'm just taking every day as it comes, and trying to do a lot of different things this coming year. So I'm going to push the envelope, and I'm the TV network's coming along very nicely, and a lot of things are gonna really be forefront this year. I've got a slew of actors that, including Mr. Rex Sykes here, that I will be interviewing here real soon on Lynn's BS. Will be coming up the beginning of the year. I'm debating whether I'm going to do that Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, something like that, because there's so many people that are doing movies and they want me to interview them before their movies come out or have come out or that kind of thing. And then inspiring people and stories and just different perspectives of different things, the way they're happening. And we just need to have that more programming of good things to watch, and taking and diverting the minutia of a lot of different things and looking at it a different way. We keep talking about the humdrum of different things and nothing changes, but let's look at the same stuff and look at it from a different perspective and understand where it came from, or understand where how we can look at the same glass we've been looking at, but look at it from a different view this time. Nothing changes unless we, I've learned so much from Rex. I'm just so blessed by it, because every time Rex is with us, I see it from a different angle. And we, like a pendulum or a mirror ball or whatever, there's just always the different sparkles, and that's, people don't understand. It's nothing looks the same ever. And everybody yet says, oh no, it's always the same. Nothing's the same, right, Rex? What's your, give us some wise words about that.
Well, I mean, another one of the laws of the universe is that everything is in motion. It's in constant vibration. If atoms are, just energy, that somehow because of their number and because of their alignment or attachment with others, we have all these different, what appear to be solid objects. Everything is in motion. So everything is constantly changing. There's the perception of what's the same. Like when you watch a movie, you know that in the days of film where you had a different picture on every frame, it's run at a high speed, so you don't notice the darkness and you don't notice, the gaps in between them, and it appears to be continuous movement. And yet at the same time, those are all still pictures creating the illusion of movement. Well, the opposite works for us. Things are changing and moving all the time, and we're holding them the same.
Exactly.
Both are possibilities for us as humans.
And that's exactly, you see, he can articulate better than I can. That's why he's, that's why he's the man. And that's, like what Rex is saying. Is he better than I'm saying? I just like to just initiate and he can deliver the goods. That's why he and I make such a great team. So that's why Brian and I make a great team. It's like he calls it the Lynnisms, we just try to figure it all out. And again, it's just like, maybe because I spoke Spanish and English and stuff. I mean, sometimes still within English or Spanish or whatever, there could be barriers and we may not have the right words, but there are ways. If you want to communicate with somebody, you can find ways to communicate. It's just the desire to be able to do that. And I think that's what I surround myself with, people that desire to make sure that somehow we can all communicate peacefully with dignity and, respect and kindness. And I'm blessed that I know those kinds of people. So anyhow, I know we stayed way too long here and I don't want to have my over welcome here. So anything else, Brian, before we leave?
No, just happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you.
Try to set aside work for a little bit of surprise and going out for a meal or sharing experiences with people that are wherever they are,
Yeah.
Because the experiences are going to last longer than any, in my opinion. The experiences that are created in life are going to last longer than any materialism of any kind.
Absolutely.
And so whatever that is, whether it's on the computer, whether it's in person, but try to take some time for yourself to enjoy a meal or have somebody surprise you with one and create new memories on your special day, because you only get one of them a year and they're not guaranteed.
Absolutely. I love you guys. Thank you so much. This meant a lot. I won't forget this one, Brian. It's a great way.
Again, Lynn.
Thank you
Michelle
so much.
and Rex and Larry and Mary Kay, thanks so much for contributing today.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for offering us.
Thank you so much, you guys. Love you. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Great.